You all know the saying.
We
When the
love
cat's
balls.
out, the mice dance on the table. And here we are, 3 little blind mice. We have no idea what to do. We've been left behind by all the other hosts.
Yep.
Apparently, they don't want to spend time with us.
Who
I
would
mean, they
want
did
to?
tell me to send regards to the Cip, so I guess he's not the problem. We are.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Take it easy.
See ya.
That's it for this week. See ya. Bye.
Welcome to another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast. As you can tell, we have a smaller crew today on this fine Sunday morning for me and afternoon, early evening for our 2 distinguished gentlemen to the left and the right. I think it's the left and the right. I don't know how Riverside does 3 people. Sometimes we're on top of each other, sometimes we're not. But
one on the bottom and then either one left or right.
there you go.
At least on my side.
I mean, regardless, that sounds very frisky.
Someone who knows all about being frisky because he has a cat. There's a that's not so weird. That's not weird. There's a cat food brand called Friskies in the United States. It could be everywhere else too.
Oh yeah.
But Tanghus is here, Mr. Frisky himself. Hello, Tanghus.
I'm not frisky with the cat, by the way.
No.
We're not going to comment about that.
No, we're not going to comment about that. And someone who you would have seen in a previous episode, but now it's his actual episode itself, Cipulot, aka Cip. Hello, Cip.
Hi.
Debut episode was past week, but this is the debut episode.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, guys, how are we doing? I want to ask real quick, Tanghus and then Cip. Tanghus, how was the Denmark meetup? Because I haven't seen you since then, before on the Patty episode, before the meetup happened. How was it?
It went exactly like the GMK meetup, except 5 or 6 degrees lower in the room.
Yeah.
I basically somehow managed to speak with no one, and it was over.
Did James and someone tell you that you were talking to someone? Or you legit didn't speak to anybody?
No, I was just rushing around. I mean, I somehow managed to completely miss out on Cipulot at the GMK meetup. I mean,
I missed out on everyone.
Yeah. So I guess this is meetups. It is just a case of going in a door, slap down a keyboard, no idea what you're doing, and then time flies, and suddenly, bam, it's 7 hours later.
That's how meetup goes.
But we did recreate the MKDK shawarma scene pendant this year, going down to the nearby burger bar, sit down, a flock of us, and have a burger. And Jump did not have a butter burger this year.
Why?
It was too greasy last year.
Oh.
The butter burger.
Yeah. What is your opinion on the butter burger?
I actually didn't have one because I looked at that and thought, yeah, that's going to be greasy.
Damn, dude. So it's kind of like drinking, but keebs style when you go to a meetup, huh? You're there, time flies, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm in this place now.
Yeah. Except significantly less alcohol. Especially when you're driving cross-country for the damn thing.
Oh, God.
And chaperoning other people around. Yeah. But it was a great meetup. We got some really great pictures. And apparently, when you will see the pictures, because I think James is planning to upload to them site eventually, they will lie because, for some reason, nobody managed to get proper pictures with anyone in them, so it just looks like a ghost town.
Hey,
yep. The keyboards just showed up.
Yeah, exactly. So
unannounced. No one actually put them there, and just gone.
Do you think it's because you were part of the team that was running the meetup? Or it would have been the same if you were a participant as well? Just like time flew and you don't remember?
I think it would be the same, but it doesn't help that I had to spend an hour writing notes for all the keyboards I brought.
Oh, really?
I might have gone a smidge too far. But all tables were full.
How many keyboards did you bring of your own collection? A lot, huh?
Not enough.
I think we are like 20-ish.
Oh my
Damn,
god.
20?
I think, and like half of them were like
Okay, if you gotta think that long about the amount of keyboards you're bringing, probably you have too many.
way too many. Which is also something I discovered, that like unpacking them is like a full day
Oh.
like process, getting them all out, getting them checked up, etc., preparing for it, and then they've been like sitting in. We have a spare room basically that's just all the shit.
Yeah.
And that is just full to the brim right now of all the keyboards I haven't bothered putting back in here, plus the ones I'm kicking around on the floor right now.
Yeah.
Like, I am in shambles. Please send help.
Just like Simon, according to his stream, right? He said that he can't move back because all the keyboards are on the floor for some reason. I don't know what happened, but
No
Yeah.
cabinet. That's the
I
reason.
mean, if you have no room in the cabinets, the floor is the next natural place.
Yep.
I don't think he's running his keyboard storage system like in 5S or Kaizen or lean rules either. So I don't think it's like marked specifically where each keyboard goes, color markings, maybe an index chart. I don't think so. It's just a hunch I have.
Nah.
I have a question for Cip, because he's Mr. Worldwide, as we know, Tanghus.
I mean,
Dude,
It-
I like he's in Japan one weekend, and then he's I don't know, in Afghanistan the next weekend. I'm just throwing countries out there.
I'm
Feel
not even
strong
sure
in
I can
Afghanistan.
enter Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm not sure.
But what have you been up to, man? We were under the impression that you might have been in Japan, but it was last month or next month. But now you're
Last
home.
month. Yeah,
Yeah.
so about that was totally on me. Because I read your message like completely wrong. I thought you said June, but instead it was July. So that's where the confusion came from. But then we had to offload again for like a week-ish. So no biggie.
No, we appreciate it. We appreciate Cip. There's always a change here and there, or like a curveball thrown.
Yeah.
But without going into too much detail, if you don't want to, what gives you the ability to travel everywhere? Is it because of work? Because of your work with EC PCBs and things like that, or?
I'd say I mean, first of all, a great passport.
Yeah.
It's an understatement how easy it is with European passports to actually travel around, especially now with the US one. Before, like the US was up there, now it's getting destroyed. But yeah, like having European passports, really easy to get in and out of countries. And then the reason why I travel so much is, first of all, I don't take vacations. I am my own boss. So I don't have paid vacations and all of that. All the perks of being European and work for anyone in Europe, I don't have them. So I have to like schedule my work trips, and then based on where I need to be, I just say, oh, let's add like 5 days, just to make at least the travel time worth it. I try to not take that many flights to reach places. The maximum that I can allow is like 2 flights, 3 if the deal is like really good. More than that is like undoable for me.
Do you also fly first class like James?
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
not that rich. No.
No. He flies private coach.
Nah.
There you go.
The only thing that I'd say is a must is the extra leg room space. Not because I need it. Like I'm not super tall. Like I'm 172 centimeters. Do the conversion in whatever freedom units that is. So I don't physically need the space,
Yeah.
but I want to be able to just stretch a little bit. And also I hate when the neighbor on your flight like left or right to you, they just like start to do this. I'm like, man, you have the extra space. Just stay in your lane, please. I'm not bothering you, so you should do the same. Yeah, it's
Imagine
just a
being-
practical thing.
Imagine being
at
6
this.
foot tall
Oh,
on your flight, walking in, and you just see Mr. Shortlegs over there, like stretching out in the emergency aisle seats. And I was like, yeah, I paid for these. And you could just see the guy, and he's just going back. It's like going to be this like Mr. Incredible meme, just like
Yep.
going into his seat and go like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I've
and just
seen a bunch of them. Yeah.
look up over to the guy sitting like with his legs.
Is that like fold their arms like a transformer to actually fit in their seat?
Yeah.
I mean, I can live with people like invading my privacy, like on the left or right side, but like people in the front that you know the kind of people that like seatbelt light off
Oh, I hate those.
them.
I hate those. That's the worst. Not because they recline their seat, but because they don't ask. Like the courtesy of asking, or if you're afraid of speaking to people, which I'm okay with it, just do the gesture, you know? Like check if I'm doing something on the reclining table. Like that's, for me, it's like the minimum, you know? Like like this, or you just do a smile. You understand when people don't want to talk and they want to recline.
Nah, bro.
Just do something.
Fucking
you know?
ask.
Yeah.
Like the one time I flew to Japan, it's like the longest flight I ever did. Like on the way back, it was the same thing. And like the lady in front of me, like I didn't dare go back because like behind me were like sitting the cutest like elderly Japanese couple I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And like with the classic, like with the bucket hat and all that, like I wouldn't want to disturb that. And I sat like politely the whole flight like this. Meanwhile, the lady in front, like seatbelt light off, slammed the seat back, and like it was like in my face like this. And not only that, like every time she was turning in the fucking seat, it was a case of her like jumping. So it's like,
oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, you ask why, they were Swedish.
You guys tell me about the etiquette from different nationalities or countries. This is obviously all just generalized, but yeah, tell me about that. Like Swedish people are known to just not giving a fuck, or what?
Around here, yes.
Absolute cinema. This entire section is going to be titled Absolute Cinema.
Welcome to European Stereotypes with the Keyboard Friends podcast.
Yeah.
Just like, no. I mean, the thing is, like, Swedish, Dutch, and German tourists, at least around Denmark, is like considered like extremely impolite. And like the Swedes, especially, we've always had this. I mean, there is this whole like historical thing going on, like going back with like Denmark and Sweden. So there is like this neighborly feud. But I remember reading a lot of these, like, where are the worst tourists from? And like it's mostly Northern Europeans. Like the Danes don't tip. The Dutch are rude and loud. The Swedes are impolite. And this just goes on. It's like, we don't understand tipping culture in Denmark because it's not a thing.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Based.
It is included in the salary. They get like salaried employees here, so like there is no tipping culture. So we don't understand it, which means that we are now the grade A assholes every time we travel anywhere in the world because either we don't tip or we don't tip enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not your fault.
Exactly. You should just don't care.
You should just keep on not tipping.
You should just not tip. You know.
It's like, you know what? I'm not going to tip you. Like it goes against all my personal beliefs, but I believe the person should go to the manager right over there and demand those $5 I should give you, and say like, this is basically what you should fight for. Go unionize.
Yeah.
By the way, the burger was great.
Cip, what do you feel about that? And is there
Tipping
a stereotype
culture?
on Italians?
Oh, stereotypes about Italians, man. How much time do we have?
We have all the time in the world because this will be the last episode that will ever air because we'll get canceled.
Oh, probably. That's why the cast today is like super slim, because no one would wanted to be part of it, you know.
They're saving face.
Yeah. Like, okay, guys, see ya.
Yeah.
When traveling, I could definitely spot Italians, 100%. Also, I can spot them in flocks, like kind of like birds, in various regions. For example, when I go to Asia, I usually use the same airline. So what I do is fly from Milan to Abu Dhabi, and then from there go anywhere I need to go. So on the way to Abu Dhabi, it's full of Italians, because of course, like you depart from Italy, you expect to have Italians go on vacation, whatever, take other flights from Abu Dhabi. So it makes sense. From Abu Dhabi to Asia, very few Italians. Those that actually go, at least from my 3 years experience going to Asia, very polite. Going to Asia.
Yeah.
Coming back from Asia, totally different. So totally different. So if you fly back from South Korea, China, not that many. From Japan, it's full. Like, not even on the plane. Already when you're doing the security checks, you probably know someone in the queues, or like a friend of a friend knows that guy. So when you're back home and you're like, oh, how was the trip? Oh yeah, I went here, and there. Oh yeah, my friend was also there. It will always happen. And then the best one is when you land in Abu Dhabi and you take the next flight back home, because over there the heat is like always present. You know, Middle East, it's hot. They keep the AC at extremely low temperatures, at least from like our usual way of having AC. So literally every time I am seated and I see people coming in, if they complain about the temperature, 99% of the times they're Italian. They're like, oh my God, it's so cold here. Oh, are they going to turn on the AC? Oh man, it's 10 degrees here. What the hell? And I'm translating from Italian to English for understanding purposes.
In Italian, it goes something like porco dio, giacane, and these other swear words typically.
Yeah. Usually the swear words are omnipresent.
Absolutely.
99% of the time. You might hear someone say some bad words.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty interesting, like, with all the holidays I've been to in Italy, because every time you're, like, in Italy or, like, southern France, you go into, like, a supermarket, it's fucking freezing in there compared to, like, the outside. So, like, them complaining about Abu Dhabi sounds, like, pretty interesting.
I mean, when you go to, like, the refrigerated section, that's basically the temperature that you have on the plane.
Oh my God.
So you can
I
imagine...
thought the whole thing was the refrigerated section. Like,
I mean,
some of your malls in Italy are, like, stone cold, man.
Oh, yeah. I'd say nowadays, like the last 5 years, they turned back a little bit on the AC, at least in like common areas. But within like the actual shops, the AC is like full blast. You literally like feel a wall of fresh air whenever you enter a store. And they don't have the machine that blows air to make it like the air wall. Like literally you can feel, oh, this is like 20 degrees. You enter a store, oh, this is 18. I'm so cold right now.
Yeah.
Basically, you walk in, like, you're keeping your speed, but when you, like, hit the air of cold and just, like...
Yeah.
And, like, right next to you, like, it's so fucking cold in these, like, shopping centers, you will see the speed of light slowing down.
Oh, yeah. If you
So-
really take a look at it, you could probably see like the heat waves, you know, when you look like through a window, or like during racetracks, you see like the waves of the air. You can totally see it in some places. It's that cold.
I mean, to be fair, like on the way in, you have to like remember to not walk barefooted because you will get 3rd-degree burns from the asphalt.
Yeah.
So like anything will feel cold, but this is like insanely cold compared to like the outside.
Yeah.
Can I ask if you're fully self-employed, Cip?
Yeah.
Is
Unfortunately,
it keyboard?
fortunately. Yes and no. Like keyboard is a big part. Technically, the company that I made was simply a like fiscal structure to actually be able to be paid. But I do keyboards, I do consulting, auditing for other projects. So I do everything but nothing. It's a way of a consulting that it's not the usual. Oh, if you're consulting, you're not doing anything. It's kind of like when you do. Oh, what do you work on? Like, what is your job? Oh, I'm an entrepreneur, and you're like, okay, so you're unemployed. you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm an
they
entrepreneur
consult.
seeking new
Yeah,
business ventures.
exactly. I'm seeking new business opportunities in like emerging markets. All of those BS. Like, oh, I'm developing a AI system. AI now is crazy. Yeah, like I do consulting, as in, like I design stuff, I audit stuff, I help others do design. Yeah, I'm trying to skew a little bit from design only and like mainly to PM consulting, as in like manage connections with like manufacturers and stuff. I think I'm at the point where not that good financially as a company to actually hire someone to do the design or do the managing stuff. So I need to like balance out a little bit more the two sides of the business.
So what you're saying is that you have an excess cash inflow
Uh,
that allows you to travel the world.
it's not really an excess because it's. I think it should be how people approach work travels if they're not employed by a company. I try to justify the cost of travel with how much I can get in return. Like if I know that I gotta spend $1,000 on flights and 1,000 for hotels and stuff, food. Generally, I don't consider food. In Asia, is so cheap that basically what I spend here in 1 month is the equivalent of 3 months over there. So I don't really consider food and all of that. But then I do the math and say, oh, if I'm gonna meet this person, this other person, the manufacturer, meet other people, how much can I get back? Not immediately, maybe on the long term, in revenue. You know, am I gonna be able to meet people that maybe know me from my projects, but they never approach me? Can I get more close with people that I already work with so that I can take over more work for them? Um, so it's a little bit of trying to balance out the, oh, I need to be there because if I'm not there, I miss out. And does it actually make sense though? Because of course, money is money and money goes out pretty fast if you're not able to control your finances. You can get all the money that you want, but if you don't control how much it goes out, you can have 10K revenue in 1 month. But if you're buying all of the random shit that you think about every day, you're gonna run out eventually.
Yeah. 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 I I have a two-part question. The first part is for Cip, and then the second part is for both Cip and Tangus. How did you get into that line of work, Cip? Yeah, I'll ask that first.
Um, so I was always into STEM stuff. Um, Back when I was in high school, I did a technical school. Here in Italy, we have like classic schools for like sciences and all of that, but also technical schools and professional schools. So in my case, I did a technical school for electronics and automation. So I already had a bit of a background. Even before starting high school, I was always tinkering around with electronics and stuff. So I just said, hey, it makes sense to just continue that line of studying. I was really lucky to get a internship. It technically wasn't an internship. There's a thing called school work program here in Italy, where you get credits in high school for going into companies and just do stuff. Um, so at the time, I was able to get an internship at STM, the company that does the microchips. Um, so that opened quite a few opportunities, not by direct connections, to be honest, but the environment was very stimulating. It was a completely different thing from what I was used to. Um, the international nature of the company really helped me. Um, Not only because there was like a bunch of people, like 3,000 people in one site, but having schedules, working in a lab, and all that was very interesting. So I was like, okay, I want to do this either by myself or for a company as an employee or consulting, all of that. Um, so yeah, then keyboards, other projects started to pile up. So I created the company, and now I basically just do this.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask keyboards. We'll ask keyboards about keyboards later. But here's the second part to that question for both of you. For at least in America, in the U.S., it used to be the old, you got to go work for a company. You got to put in your 9 to 5. You work for a boss. The hierarchy. You make your way up the ladder, and then obviously as the years progressed to now, it's very well received if you're able to become self-employed and you don't have your own boss. You're your own boss. The culture in the US is more for that. Like,
Yeah.
go be a self-employed entity. Is it the same in Italy, and is it the same in Denmark, where it's not usual to be self-employed unless you're like super up there?
It's not that common. I think the reason why that is there are a lot of reasons. One of them, I kind of hinted it earlier. The benefits that you get by being an employee of a company far outweigh the benefits that you get by being self-employed. You can argue and discuss about the legitimacy of it and if it's fair or not. But it's undeniable that if your work is stable and you can pay the bills and everything, like we suppose that the income that you get is like fair for your living expenses and all of that. There are cases where it's totally not, but that's another story. You get far more benefits. So you have paid vacations, paid leave time. If you're a woman and you go through maternity, you have paid maternity leaves. Same for the father. You have a lot of structures that support employees. The rights for employees are very well protected, at least on paper. Um, and there's are also things like social security and all that for the majority gets handled through the payment process for your monthly income. So if this is your gross profit for month X, the employer already takes out whatever it's due for, like your pension fund, like your national pension fund. Another one for what is called the TFR, which is basically a fund that you get paid once you leave the company. Um, it's kind of like a 401, but it's company managed. Um, it's taxed, but it's not the point. Um, so it's easier for the individual to be an employee. Um, Being a self-owned business guy, it's quite difficult. We have a lot of company structures here. Some of them are very good for people like me because they have a taxation that is extremely low compared to the normal company structures. The taxation is still high, relatively speaking, but It's like half of a normal company. But on the other hand, you don't have benefits like deductions and all of that. To be honest, I get it. Like basically the argument for the government is, oh, you're paying way less taxes than others, and also you don't have to invoice VAT. But on the other hand, don't come to us and ask for stuff. Like the assumption is that, oh, you're keeping more money because we're taxing you less, so you shouldn't come to us and ask for like refunds and stuff, which I guess it's fair, but at the same time, I have to pay for everything. The paradigm and the thinking of an employee and one that employs or is self-owned, has a self-owned business is very different. Um, Especially here in Italy, the bureaucracy is like super, super complicated. So even figuring out how much you owe to the government, it's very hard. It's easier than the US, where the US says, oh, you owe us money. And you're like, how much? Take a guess. And if you're wrong, you're going to jail. Here, at least, they do the math, but it's very convoluted. Like, as an example, the taxes on the company income that I have to pay are based off a couple of percentages. So if I have an income for the company of 1,000, I get taxed on X% of that amount. So let's say 60. So I owe taxes calculated based on the 60% of that amount. And of that amount, I have to give taxes for another percentage. So let's call it like 20%, you know. So it's a very complicated thing. You definitely need an accountant because if you try to do it yourself and you fuck up, you fuck up big time. Even with accountants, you can fuck up, to be honest. And if they do something wrong, you pay. They're not the one responsible. Yeah. So it's better to pay a good one than pay a mediocre one. And maybe find out even after you close the company that, oh, by the way, you owe us like $10,000 because you filed taxes wrong, like in 2020.
God.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's not taught. Like in school, it's not a thing.
No.
Like financial literacy is not a thing. It's better than in the US, I'd say. But I think that's purely because the concept of credit cards here is quite different from the US. So I think that and the culture around money here is very conservative, as in you should save up. So I think that helps. But in recent times, I think the sentiment and the feeling about money is shifting quite a bit, which is not good in my opinion.
I'm gonna make a note of that for myself. I'm not gonna bring it up now because I want to hear Tanghus's opinion.
Get good at money.
Yeah. Because that's super fascinating, and I'll explain why when we get to it. But Tanghus, what's it like in Denmark? Is it similar? Is it more you have to go to work 9 to 5 and self-employment is like, whoa, you must be super rich?
I mean, it's pretty similar to Italy. You don't have to be super rich here. We have a structure in Denmark in many ways on our job market that's very different from the rest of Europe. It's much more flexible here. But we also have a higher, say, system behind it that supports it. Like you have the basic benefits that if you can't pay for it, anything, then sure, here's the basic benefits, or you can pay further to your typically unions. They have an unemployment benefit going on there that you pay to. But it's built around this whole thing. Like they toss around the word flexicurity a lot about the Danish job market. It's very easy to hire and fire for both sides. It's also very easy for me to say, well, fuck you, I'm out. It's like one click to start a company for me. I could just go in, I'll get a registered company number, and it will just run through my personal income. And that is up to a certain degree you could do that. And you could typically only do that as one person. It used to be even laxer on the rules of like starting a company. And you can also start a share, not exactly a stock company, but a share company. Basically, you need to own a share or part in the company. That typically costs you about like 10,000 crowns, which is about I have to calculate $1,500 or so.
Okay.
That's a startup fee. There you go. There's a lot of like we are really pushing for small or medium-sized companies here because they are essentially the backbone of any country. The sub-suppliers are basically what makes the big players turn around, which is also one of the big reasons why you hear a lot of people like Denmark raising concerns over the size of, for example, Novo, who's like on everyone's topic, because like they are paying like a big part of the bill here in Denmark. So basically, when that collapses, it's a case of, well, fuck, what do we do then? Because there's a whole system in place of these corporate giants that are the smaller companies, because being a smaller company offers you greater flexibility, but it also comes at a higher running cost. And especially the bigger players, like they are less flexible. So getting like inside the system there is typically pretty good because then you're guaranteed a steady income. But it's also a gamble of them like abusing this, basically using smaller companies as bank systems. You'll see large companies have like payback times that is like up in the 3-month ranges. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you do the work now, but you won't see a dime in like until like 3 months. Some are even starting to push like 6 months,
That's
which
crazy.
means
That's
it's
insane.
just that is downright abusing the system. That is malicious, to
That's
put it
insane.
nicely. But like the smaller companies are more flexible, but it's a higher running cost. But especially larger companies also like subsidizing, and they really like basically a good example here is really like the distribution companies or the like logistics companies. They will basically set up a business and then they'll just hire a company, and that company will maybe have like 10 to 25 employees, and they all just do this one thing, but it's a bidding process. So you don't know how long they're going to do it, and they have to like win the bid for this. So this drives costs down. And essentially, you are taking all responsibilities out of the equation of your own company. I would say, like, full on, open eyes, willingly, you are dumping like looking at social dumping of privileges from taking away from those of less. So it's a bit of a it's a two-edged sword. It's really nice to be a small company, being a nice company, working in a nice company, because you have a flat organization. It's easier to work around and manage when you're working in it. But it's also less safe. But
Yeah.
even like big structures today is also, you're just a number in the queue. So say hiring and firing, that is also very easy here. You'll hear someone take over a company, and immediately the thing they do, first thing they take over the company is like fire 10% of staff. It's like, yeah, we bought this great profitable company, but oh yeah, it was actually never that profitable. Let's like slash it in half and like reorganize this. Stay there for like 5 years, reap the benefits of it, sell it off again. It's one of those things really keep in mind also when you're self-employed, is that yes, the costs, you earn more, but you also have to spend more. Especially like good one is like pension and health insurance, because that is arguably the bigger you are as a company, the cheaper it is to insure the pool of people. But as a private person, like for your own small company, that's going to be a costly affair, and you cannot get the same agreements as bigger companies can't. Actually, you can, but you have to pay out your ass for them, so they are feasibly out of range. Some companies here also say, yeah, we don't have a pension agreement, and they basically let people choose themselves, which is also pretty shit because, again, that means of 6, 8 employees, every one of them will get a shit deal compared to if the employee took a social obligation to go out and negotiate a deal and say, here's our pension system, by the way, we provide. It's better.
Welcome to Europe.
Welcome to Europe. Like the market in them is really different because also like we don't really have, we did get it, but we don't really have a minimum wage. It's all
yeah.
set by union agreements. Like we are heavily unionized here throughout, because that is what they call the Danish model here. It's similar to what they do in the rest of Scandinavia, is that the government doesn't really control what's going on. It's controlled by the unions, and employers in, and they sign agreements every 2 or 3 years. Here's how much more you're going to earn per year. Here's how much we expect salaries to increase. Here's how much more you get for overtime. And if it's bad times, typically you will get longer agreements. If it's good times, you'll get shorter agreements. But definitely there are also big players that say screw this, and because it's not a requirement to be unionized here as a company, you can just start up and be it. But I would say if you are a big enough player, you have basically a social obligation to work within the rules of that country, even if they are not written in paper.
Yeah, because otherwise you will not work. That's kind of the same thing that happens here. Although the effectiveness of unions to actually come to an agreement and deliver stuff is dubious. Unions have great benefits, and it plays into the arguments of being a employee has great benefits because they will cover your ass if something happens. If you're fired without a reason, even if there are laws that prevents an employer to actually fire you just for whatever reason. It's not like the US, for example. They will basically just negotiate on your behalf to get either re-employed or have like exit benefits and all of that. But the issue that I see with that, and I cannot see the same argument being played by some political figures in the US and other countries, is we are against unionization because basically they're just going to become a cartel, which in a way, that's what happens here. Fair and square. Like if you want to do anything as a business owner and you have unionized employee, you're basically at their mercy. You want to do X? Oh, I gotta ask the union guy. Doesn't really play well because that shouldn't be the job of the union. That should be no one's job, really. Like if the changes are unjustified and against laws, um, then sure, fight for it. But for example, if I want to fire an employee because they are non-productive and they cause issues on the job and everything like that, I should just be able to say, "Hey, you're just a bad employee. You're not following rules and all that," and I can just let you go. But no, I gotta go through the unions because if I don't, then there's the risk that this guy goes to the unions and say, "Oh, my employer did this, and that," and then you start paying a shit ton a lot of money for basically nothing. I think the behavior and the actions of the unions in some countries in Europe shifted from being for the workers to basically just being a cartel for their own interest. Like working for the union is actually a job title for some people. Here they are called sindacalista because unions is translated to sindacato, which is very close to syndicate. Um, they're not the same, but effectively they are. Effectively they are. And we have like 1,000 of them or even more. Like every time you turn on the TV on the news channel, they're like, "Oh, there's a strike signed for by this, and that." I'm like, "Who the hell are they?" There are like 5,000 different acronyms for different stuff. I'm like, "Wait, are those the guys that do the metal workers, or are they the other ones?" Like,
Would you two ever switch? Like, are you self-employed? Do you want to stay self-employed? And Tanghus, you want to stay employed? For the near future, for the time being?
I'd say for the time being, I don't know, because it's kind of weird. I don't see self-employment, at least in the way that I handle it, as the typical self-employment for European countries. Uh, it might be that I work 99% with people outside of Europe, So in a way, what I do is, for example, let's say you want to hire me for doing some auditing work and PCBs. We work together well, and you want to hire me, quote unquote. We have like a continuous business relationship. I use the argument that I'm much cheaper than having having an employee, because you don't have to pay taxes for your government, you don't have to pay social security and all of that. In a way, I'm doing the part of um, the companies that Tangus was talking about, uh, which is good in a way and bad. Like socially, it's kind of bad, especially if there are multiple people. Bigger companies use those service providers because they're not bound to a employer-employee contract with the rules and regulations. It's just a company to company. So rescinding a contract between two companies is much easier. And that's why those type of companies that provide people are so on the rise right now in the US, Europe, Asia. But at the same time, because I'm a one-man operation, effectively it's like if I'm employed, you know. But I have the benefits of not having the taxes that come with it. Now the euro is not doing that great, so even the exchange rate for the US is like basically 1-to-1. Back when I started, the exchange rate was very good for me, like extremely good for me. So I was taking home a good chunk thanks to exchanges, even after the exchange rate for them paying in the in US dollars and then converting into euro. Uh, but I think for the time being, having the structure that I have is gonna be the way to go. Uh, Mainly because it's not a project-based kind of thing, or like
Yeah.
a commission-based kind of thing. It is we work together, so I I know that I have this amount of work to do with you, and it's basically as if I was employed, effectively. Uh, Being employed, like in the very basic meaning of the term, here, no, not really. I I've seen how it is having a business, thanks to my parents and other family members that own the company. And no, here specifically, I wouldn't do it. In Italy, in Europe in general, I'm not sure. In Asia, probably. And it might sound like a contradiction because the conditions in Asia, in some countries, is totally not great. Again, compared to Europe, but I know that, and I'm prepared to accept it. So the mental situation is completely different. You know, I'm okay with going to China, Indonesia, whatever. It's an experience. I can write it in my CV if it goes bad, whatever. Uh, but I think that would help me expand more, both from a work perspective, but also from a personal perspective. That's also a big part for me. Like the social aspect of work is important. It's not the key, but it's important.
Just to clarify, you're talking about being self-employed in Asia, or you're talking about working?
I'd say in a couple of countries, I would be okay with being employed.
There's
And
also some really bad
yeah,
scenarios.
yeah, totally. And again, but I know that, you know, like I know that I would be a foreigner, that I'm not gonna be accepted as I would be, for example, if I go in Spain or like other European countries. Even though like when people say Europe, they think that's a single country and we don't hate each other and we don't badmouth each other. It's not a thing. But I know that, and I'm prepared to accept it. I'm not one of those guys that say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to, let's say, soul and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna do this, and that. Oh, I'm gonna meet so many amazing people. No, I know that there's gonna be racial profiling. I know there's gonna be people refusing to work with me, and like I know that. And by knowing that, you can adjust yourself, your expectations, and how you approach it.
I mean,
Not excusing the racial stuff and like the social exclusion and all of that. Like let's be very clear. I don't condone it, but I can't change a society just because I'm a guest in their society and their work environment, and I'm not gonna disrupt it. Otherwise, they're just gonna kick me out. Uh, like unless they abuse me, I can't do much.
Yeah. Yeah.
in the late 2000s, early 10s, there was like this, the classic job description in China would be like in board meetings to be the token white guy.
Yeah.
You're basically just paid around to sit
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
and be Western. I mean, with how it's been developing, that's a job that is essentially disappearing.
Oh, yeah.
But like, imagine just getting paid to just hang around, just sit in a chair, swoop, look at things, go like, yep.
I mean, it's for some places it's still a thing. Far less now though, like extremely less.
I mean,
Like the marketplaces opened quite a bit. So for example, when AliExpress enabled VAT payments at checkout, I imagine that 80% of the people that handled communication between Europe and China for the companies that sold on the platform, they just lost their job, like straight up. There's no reason for them to have them. And if you're a super small company in China that doesn't interact at all with the outside or any other country, like it could be like South America, Europe also, you would sell to a bigger company within China, to use the same example, and then that company has its own handling to the outside. So the white token, we call it the white token because it usually was a white guy, like the bridge. I usually call them like the bridge between Western market and Asian market. It's not there anymore. It's not necessary. So that figure is disappearing, and that was one easy way to get into foreign markets, like being the guy that did a little bit more in your home country and home region to get interested in the other region way of doing things, and then you could have like secure position because you could migrate very easily from one company to the other in the foreign region. Now it's not there anymore. You gotta adjust. As always, you gotta adjust. AI is taking over. I promised myself that I was not gonna say anything about AI, like taking your jobs and all that, but it's true. Like even translators between one company and the other, like you should skip Google Translate and use whatever was made in that country because it's gonna work 100%. You want to translate your stubby English to Chinese, use DeepSeek because that's gonna be good. If you wanna translate to Japanese, yeah, ChatGPT is sorta okay. I'd say Google Translate is probably better than that, which is a big reach.
Wow. Yeah.
Saying that Google Translate for Japanese works is like a huge statement, which it doesn't. But again, goes back to doing a little bit more. If you know the cultural differences and how to do things, you can spot the issues and you can adjust to it. That's probably the only thing that will never go away. It's the social structures and expectations that comes with dealing with business from other regions. So, for example, in Japan, when I worked for as a consulting for a consulting job, the in-person meetings, even like within Italy, was very emphasized. Even if it was just oh yeah, so we're doing great. This semester is doing great. We're doing a great job. Great, guys, you can go home. Could have been a Google Meet, could have been a call. But no, you gotta be in person, and as long as you know it, that's it.
I mean, what's wrong with an alignment meeting? Or, the pre-meeting to a meeting, or when you have even better, sometimes before the alignment meeting, you meet up a couple of you and you do like pre-alignment meeting, just to make sure that you're all aligned before the alignment.
The notes that you receive at like 5 a.m. and you're like, oh, can you check these notes real quick? Because then when we do the sync meeting at 9 a.m., we should be all on the same page, because when we have the meeting at 5 p.m., now everyone should be like fully on point. I'm like, okay, sure. I'll take a look.
I mean, and that is what it takes to be an AI-focused startup looking for new business opportunities in an emerging global market. Some call it a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
But, all in all, it's just an MLM construction.
Is it a Ponzi scheme? I'm not sure. I'd say probably Social Security nowadays is more of a Ponzi scheme than anything else, especially here.
I mean, it is basically just a balloon. It is waiting to pop and disappear in all of Europe.
Yeah.
To be quite grim, because it's built on models that no one really is dared to touch for the past 30, 40 years. And like elephants in the room, such as negative population growth in Western countries.
Just do more kids, man.
Just make more kids.
Make more kids,
It's like you're looking at South Korea, which is like they are essentially like, people are talking like that right now. The debate is, have they reached the point of social collapse, or are they just about at the point of social collapse? And you'll see the same thing going on in the Western world. Especially in Northern Europe, it's going to be real rough here as well, because there's not enough people around to sustain the models we have now and the living standards we have now. So you kind of have to like expect the worst for the future. And I know it sounds very grim, but
I mean, it's better to face it than not face it.
Would you ever go down the Cip route, Tanghus? The self-employed route?
Self-employed? Fuck no, I can't afford that. I don't have the money for that.
Yeah.
I spent it all on blackjack and hookers in my youth, so basically I have nothing left anymore.
What do you mean, man? It's just one more game away. Surely the next one is gonna be your big time. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. You suggest
you gotta keep grinding. You don't believe you don't believe enough in yourself.
Hanging there, get in the grind, man. No. It's just like, it's not a mindset, it's a grind set.
Exactly. It's a way of living. You gotta think.
We have a company where I can feasibly like earn half of what I do, and like we'll get along two people. So I don't have to like take any job, which is fine. Like it's scale at a point where like the social benefits here pay for the house. We don't earn a whole lot, but we're not like super flexible in what we have, because you basically have one income.
Yeah.
And a bit of benefits for my wife through her studies. But so right now, absolutely, I don't have the money. Like, I bought an old ass house. I don't have the money for going solo. Like, I have the value like invested in the brick and mortar here, but even that is a whole discussion like worth living. Is like, why are housings like expected to grow in value, and why have we accepted the social construct like for the past 40 years? Because
money.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
because money.
Gotta put the money into like real physical goods.
Yeah.
I mean, to a degree, I agree, because having this house indeed with my name on it means that I have something of physical value. But you might just as well be better off if they put the same amount of money in gold 5 years ago when I bought this. Actually, not 5 years.
Bitcoin moment.
Oh, man.
The classic, oh, man. If I wasn't hungry that night, I would have not spent the 4 or 5 Bitcoins on a pizza. And now I would be retired.
Gift on the first Bitcoins. like a giant idiot. I was like, yeah, that thing, that has no way that's going to be a thing. So I like skipped on the first opportunity I got, and that was like before the first like shoot up in value. So jokes on me, I guess.
Nah, there's okay. We actually lost 2 trains. Now there's a third one. The first one that we lost was Bitcoin and all like the cryptos and shit. Then there was NFTs, which realistically, if you're buying into NFTs, man, you like to be scammed. Just saying, just clip it, then put absolute financial cinema. Okay,
Yeah. With the raccoon.
okay, like exactly with the raccoon. At the time, not gonna lie, this is not financial advice, by the way. I thought about doing NFTs just to get money off of people that had way too much income to waste. Okay, that was a big brain idea that I had. But then I was like, oh man, I gotta put in the effort. I need to like make up some bullshit. I'm not good at making up bullshit. So
I have
that's
an
not
idea.
my thing. Now there's like meme coins. It's not at the
Yes.
top. It's getting down, but if a president can make meme coins, so can we.
So can we? And
Just
our
saying.
sponsor, for
saying.
this episode, Robinhood, our NFT, the good keyboard friends.
No, but honestly though, you're stuck in the same mindset, because also like you didn't lose like 2 trains, you lost like 3 trains. You lost the Bitcoin train like twice. There's also the COVID, the pandemic boom.
Yeah.
There's also the financial crisis of 2008, which I kind of missed. But it's you're thinking like, for marketing, you're thinking like meme coins. You're thinking like too wrong. Like everyone's talking about like Bitcoins, meme coins, NFTs.
Like,
I present to you the FT.
The FT.
The FT. Basically, what we have here is the FT. We call it, or like some would ever call it, the fungible token.
Oh,
what you do here is
hell.
they are basically, you invest into us, you give us money, and we send you something. What it is, you don't know, but you're sure that this FT you have here in hand, at one
Isn't that
point,
like
it will be my money. It could be that I grab this and say, oh, by the way, thank you for buying my FT, Hubert. Here's a cable retrainer clip from a Model M.
I mean, that's the thing that I didn't understand at the beginning. Like the NFT, I was like, okay, what do you guys mean? Like,
Yeah.
first of all, there was a huge like bait campaign going on, merging NFT and blockchain, because blockchain is amazing. Like the system itself, the technology and the system behind it is very cool, and it actually makes a lot of sense. But the use that it made for it is complete nonsense. Like, oh, you're buying this ape, and this is the blockchain. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? It's what? What do you mean? Why are you paying $500,000 for an ape? Like, what? Okay, I'm out of here. You guys are too crazy.
But that's the thing, though, is like, I remember the first outing of like cryptos and like explaining it to an elderly coworker at the time. We're like, but why is this a thing? Like, the money isn't even real. And then you're just like, oh boy, oh you sweet innocent soul.
Oh
like,
boy.
Money has not been real since like
Let me
the
tell
late
you
19th century.
Let me tell you about the time that they changed the valuing system and gold was not longer the gold standard.
But even before that, like the gold standard, you have to remember when they took actual gold and silver out of the coins.
Oh yeah.
So like, money has basically not, like money has not been real for a very long time. It's a social construct we've all to accept, but this like stupid ass little bit of like paper note, this my FT in my pocket here. Let's grab an FT I have in my pocket here. Say, oh, by the way, yeah, this. Oh yeah, here's my FT,
which is not actually an FT.
I mean, it is fungible.
Yeah, but the value is not.
No, exactly. I mean, it's pegged to the euro, so like there's no value in it anyway.
Got him. Got him. Got him.
So like, yeah.
Go ahead.
It's like we've all accepted that like these small bits of paper, all these fucking coins here are like, yes, this here piece of brass. And then, you know what? It's not even like full on brass.
Right.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
like a coating
alloy,
on a
fake.
zinc core. Like all these fucking Eurocents, which are like absolutely useless and cost more to make than they are. And also like, why is this a thing? Why?
Yeah.
Why the European Union? Why do I have to go to fucking GMK meet and come back home with these fucking useless pieces of copper, which aren't even like real copper in the first place? Fucking zinc. Like, why?
Yeah.
Anyway, so like, I believe in
money.
good old fashioned moonshine. Like, you basically just trade stuff. Like, that's how I got through my youth. It's like, I had a really grand, like, I had an old Skoda as my first car. Fucking piece of shit. Loved that thing. But that thing, like, required repairs. And how do you repair an old Skoda? Well, you find a mechanic. And when you are, like, in the trades, like I'm an electrician, I say, well, if I come with a car, you fix it. You have electricity to fix. I come fix that for you.
There we go.
So, like, just like,
we are back to the Stone Age, man.
Yeah, but this actually works.
We are back
Just, like,
to
the best way
to trading.
Yeah, but like here, like trading work, for example, for work, or like that is the benefit. Like here, basically, I never like took money out of pocket to fix that thing. I basically just like paid in whatever like electrical components I could nick from where I was working as an apprentice, but like or buy from my employer at a lower cost anyway. So like the value of the job I did for him was greater than the money I invested into it. And the same with the work he did for me on my car. It was worth more to me than he invested into it. So like he got the parts for cheap or for a breaker car, or maybe he didn't. Actually, he was a good guy. He actually fixed stuff. But like, that's the thing. It's like, don't trade goods, trade services. That is actually a way, like financially, way better deal in life. And that works even if you're employed or unemployed anyway, except that if you are employed or self-employed, then the big problem is, do you trade these services that you are technically taxed for? If this is your company, if this is your profession, then the tax man might not like you too much when he finds out that you trade the service for another service. It's the same thing here. Like, if I go help my neighbor put up a fence, it's fine. I'm not trading a service. But if I go put up an outlet for him, suddenly that's not a service. That's my profession. I am now like helping with that. The taxman do not like.
Do you know the oldest profession in the world that is widely traded?
No. Actually, I will tell you. You know, the oldest profession in the world is
that was a dangerous.
No.
Prostitution.
No. I mean, he really wanted to say that. He just really wanted to say it. But I'll tell you, actually, have you ever considered... Have you ever considered what is actually the oldest, like, profession in the world?
Living is a job.
Now, like, you still have to consider... I'll give you the time scale. You have to remember that the Earth is only like 5,000-6,000 years old. But like that's how old everything is according to this great book. But like on the first page, first line says, "Let there be lights." And you know, all the conduits and like all the outlets and all the light fixtures were all put up for him. Electricians were the first.
Oh my God!
Big brain.
The Book of Tanghus, chapter 1.
Nah, I mean Jay already did that. I can't do that one. We just do the what fuck can we do? We can do the Tangonomicon. The Book of Dark Deeds.
For the audio listeners, you definitely want to tune into the video section of this because I am showing mine right now. This is what I'm typing on.
I mean, it does the job.
Yeah. Can you show me yours, Tanghus? And then
I mean, mine is also like a grayish thing.
Tanghus is pulling down his pants for the audio listeners.
I mean, it's not that long, but it has some heft to it. Like like these are the ones where you really want them to be like You want the stubby one, but like with some oomph to it.
For our hardcore fans, if you remember many episodes ago, Tanghus was saying how he had to throw it on his shoulder like an elephant trunk.
Damn.
Oh.
Great sound.
For the audio listeners,
That was actually a pretty good
that
sound.
was a good sound. That was a good sound.
That
We're
was a
showing
proper
off.
thug.
Yeah, we're showing off what keyboards we're typing on right now. I am showing my HHKB Type S, and then Tanghus.
So that's the one I saw at the GMK meetup.
Yep. My
BKE, man.
my super famous HHKB with BKE domes and BKE caps, China spacebar, great spacebar, and then a artisan by Prime.
Oh shoot!
You know,
uh.
I was thumping away on that board next to James.
Huh?
And like I was like, yeah, this is pretty good for Topra, but I'm still not converted. And this is apparently like one of the most clouded builds ever. Wow. Wow.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
No, I don't get it. That's fine. I mean, the thing is, the Topras don't do like.
We can make it clacky if you want.
Okay, I'm in. So when are you going to do like the next step from Topra and just like skip the Topra and go straight to the buckling springs?
Oh.
I mean, I would buckling spring assemblies, like custom like PCBs, like to put buckling springs in anything. See,
Funny
that's
you
the
ask,
thing.
because the original plan was to do only the OEM keyboards replacements and then move to Model F.
Wow.
You
But
son of a bitch, I'm in.
But then people were like, "Oh, the PCBs are great. I can finally use my HFKB. Can you do also the real force?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll do the real force." And then they're like, "Oh, but I want to use it in another keyboard." Okay, I'll do that one as well. I
So
didn't stop.
feasibly, could I, if one were to acquire a Model F, use the flippers on one of your PCBs?
Like not the Topper one, but
Yeah, but like take the like I mean Model F are like individual housings or towers or stems, whatever we call them. So I just need a plate. I have the stems. I just need the flippers.
yeah.
So basically, I can actually make like a great real force.
What do you mean?
Actually, real forces are pretty good.
That wording implies that the real force is not great.
It's actually very pretty good. Yeah, those are like that's so like I do like.
Okay, there's something even more based than this one.
We have one with Model F flippers.
No. It's something bigger. If yours is big, mine is huge.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Drum roll.
Oh.
That's not a drum roll, but okay.
Yes. See, sir, where's all the caps?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly. Where's all the caps? Like,
On the HTTP?
oh wow.
What is that for the audio listeners?
You have this in the house and you're using the HHKB.
I have this in the house and the editing station, like the actual PC.
This this episode of GKFP will actually be edited by Cipulot in Italy on his Sony editing station.
It's so good. It weighs like a ton.
Yeah,
Like
okay, but agreed. Those are good, and it's just like you just put the domes used on HKB, man. It's just like this is what you should use.
It's so good. It's great.
This like get a proper fucking battleship going, man. This is what you need to use.
Nice.
Cip showed off the Sony BKE. I don't even know the numbers.
9400.
Yeah.
9400? Yeah, 9400.
I mean, I am in the middle of like heinous crime, so.
Oh no, what you're doing?
No.
What is that?
It's the shell.
Oh wait, you're doing the.
Yeah. See, this is when you get. See, this is when you get good. Like get 60%, like HKB, but you actually get something usable, like an F-row.
That's good.
Yeah, these are good. It's the same terrible Italian one I showed you, and it bought special for this, and the fact I got a free cable.
Hey, If it's free, it's good.
Who's the other Italian PCB designer? Do
I
you
have
know?
no
Cip?
idea. It's just like I found out. Like I found some guy on. Do I have one laying around here because I know I bought a new one recently.
So the other guy that I know of and that I
It's a-
talked to is a bachelor. He worked on the Work 1 PCB, I think.
No, but this is like some guy is doing like a GitHub thing. It's like they're sending him out of Italy. I don't know if he's actually Italian because he has like a very non-Italian name.
I'm not sure if we want to dox.
It's called the Model X controller.
Model X.
It's a GitHub, but like if it's a fork of the Model H, but with like certain, which I still haven't figured out. But
a Model X controller, I find only the cars.
let's see here.
BLE Model M Universal Controller.
I mean, he has a horrid taste in PCB colors.
Yeah,
But-
adding font. What the hell is that font?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's worse than Comic Sans.
The green one was better because it was like this fake retrofuturistic one.
Okay, I'm not sure I know this guy.
No,
Never heard of him.
but apparently there is another Italian converting membrane boards and doing heinous crimes to those. But it's Bluetooth, just like an AKB. I mean, it's missing the internal USB hub.
This is maybe like a softball question, but I saw someone ask this on a Black Simon stream. What makes Cipulot PCBs good?
I have no idea.
Me neither. They aren't even green.
Yeah, they're not even piss yellow. So why
Oh,
do people even
true.
buy them?
Yeah, but like everyone knows the best PCB are the green ones. Like, that's just the law.
Yeah.
And like then we have this Italian guy, like everybody, I would like dare call him a hype beast. Everyone's talking about, oh, have you seen this? Like what he's doing, converting this, and like you're going, yeah, look, that sounds fun. You go in, it's just like, oh, it's another black PCB. And it's like, oh, like fine, like what kind of like thing should have his like?
Okay, I have something
and
that is
and you
better
go, like,
than green.
why is Topa Red great? Because basically it's just like super fucking mushy anyway, and just
It's
goes like this.
Japan.
There we go.
I'm not afraid to admit that for a lot of people that are into EC and Topper, they probably started typing on it just because it was from Japan. Like I'm not gonna say this is not true straight up. You know, some might like the layout, and others might just like the feel. As always, is a game of preference. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like going back to why the PCBs are great. I'm not sure. Which might sound fun and weird for me to say, but usually when I design something, I don't think, oh, I need like approval.
Yeah.
As I said the other time, like 90% of the times that I design stuff that is not for work and other people's work, it's just because I was shit posting on some forums or on Reddit. It was like
out there on forums proving a point.
Yeah, I mean,
showing them.
Actually, yes. I think 4 or 3 PCBs that I made were literally just someone was doing the funny on some random Discord server. They were like, "Oh yeah, this is not doable. It's not possible." I'm like, "Is it?"
I'll fucking show ya.
Yeah,
The Jono.
yeah.
The Jono.
It's just going like the whole thing swearing through Kaika.
Yeah.
Just deal.
I mean, it's not in a bad way. Like I don't want to shit on the guy that says, "Oh, it's not doable," but it's like, is it really? Let's try. You know, why not?
It's not like I don't want. It's not like I want to shit on the guy that said
No,
this,
no,
but I
no.
did.
No,
Is what you're saying.
I usually try to not do that. Even if the other person is like blatantly wrong, I try to be constructive on why I say that things shouldn't be done that way. And that's also why, for example, when I hear people say, "Oh, it's not gonna go on the moon," or like it's not like a PCB that goes to Mars, I'm like, yeah, but that's not the point, you know.
What if I wanted to take my HHKB to the moon?
Apart from that, there are ways you can do it, but like the entire concept of toning down quality just for the sake of this is not mission critical doesn't really sit well with me. It's a weird design concept, especially on smaller runs that I do not understand. Uh, it's probably it's a me thing. I'm sure it's not. For example, for Gondo, it's not this. Like he thinks the same way I do on this. But there are other people that are like, oh yeah, it's fine. Oh, it doesn't look good. I mean, yeah, I mean it's functional, but do a little bit more. Do something. Do something
Yeah.
more. Show the pride in your work, not just because you wanted things to work. I wanted this keyboard to be functional. Like, do something more. Include like memes on your PCBs. Include, uh, like if you do curved traces, for example, there was a huge argument. Oh, are they good or they're not good? Who cares? But if you do them properly. Don't forget like a right angle somewhere. Like take the time to do it properly, or don't do it. You know.
I mean, this like we hear why your PCBs are great here, but I will say like you're very short-sighted because you're taking away the job for the one guy in the PCB factory whose job is to like solder in butt wires by making them good from the start. Like now he's out of job. Like what should he then solder his butt
Uh,
wires to?
you would be surprised on how many tickets I receive, even if the PCBs are done properly. Not because of the quality, but because of the expectation of people on how things work. And it goes back again to another thing that I said the other time. The ability and willingness of people to read and take the time to understand things severely decreased. It was already pretty low, but I think the COVID period really just sank the ship.
Nah,
Like
so
the rating ship is no longer sailing anymore. Uh,
you basically just grew older. I have to
old.
tell you, it's
I'm old.
always been like this. It's always been, oh no, now it's AI. Before that it was TikTok. Before that it was Reddit. And then it was Google. Before that it was the TV. Like people not being able to reach it and search out basic information has never ever been a thing. That is basically why the Library of Alexandria doesn't fucking exist like anymore, because it was not a feasible thing from the start, and like no one would fucking go there. So what was the point?
I mean, I get it. Maybe I'm actually old. I'm not that old, by the way. Like I may act as an old guy, but I'm not old. Uh, I don't know. Like if you're doing something, I think you should do it with a little bit of a purpose.
Nah, but what you should do, I
No?
would counter argue, you don't have to do it with a purpose, but you have to do it with the best of your ability.
Yeah.
And even if your like ability is dog shit, you will have a learning or two along the way, and you'll learn next time, like, okay, I shouldn't do that. But like always do things to the best of your ability. And basically that is how you learn, become better than the rest. And
Yeah,
like
but
the PCBs are
I
good.
think a lot of users like when I say they don't have a purpose, I mean they don't have an end goal. Or like they're not sure on what they want to achieve, you know? Uh do you want, like for example, for me at the beginning, custom keyboards and even my PCBs, like I did keyboard PCBs for my own stuff long before I started to sell them. For me it was a search for doing something that I could use for myself. The keyboard was fully functional, but I was like, okay, now I have two keyboards that use my PCB. I have five others. My goal by the end of the month is gonna be to make a PCB for every single one of them. You know,
Also the big one,
also the big one. The big one is functional. The big one is functional. The wheel spins and everything.
GB1. Then I have a
Never,
risk to get one.
never.
Oh,
Like that at least was my purpose. My intention was never to kind of weird. I don't want to say like impose or like be a reference point in the community. Like that's not how I see any type of community. Being keyboards or any other hobby or thing that you do. If you enter a scene with the goal of being the best and like someone that people look up to, you probably don't reach that level. Uh, your way of approaching people and problems and topics is very different if you have that in mind compared to leaving the community. Um, so that was never uh, a goal, let's say, for me to like be a reference or like have the best PCBs.
I am sorry to break it to you, but that is exactly how you become a reference with the best PCBs. That is
I mean,
having that mindset. Is basically you don't want to be the best. You're not here to like
no,
show
no, no.
others,
I
but
mean,
it's the humbleness.
yeah, like I'm not saying that if it comes, it's a bad thing. I'm not complaining about the spot that I'm on. What I'm saying is that if you enter a scene or you try to evolve your status in a hobby from like I'm a member to I want to be the top, that's not how you do it. How you do it. Uh, you might do it if you go from like for example, someone that opens up a vendor. That's a different argument because you have to have the driving and uh, like being hungry of success to be a vendor that does numbers. I don't mean the vendor that runs the wacky project that everyone loves. I mean like a full on business. You gotta have the hobbyist mindset to be in touch with the community, because if you're not in touch with the community, you're just a sale front. You might as well just drop ship from other places and other makers. Um, but you also have to be a ruthless business person, always being within legal frames and decency frames, because there's also that. I don't think that only following laws and being right is enough. I think you have to be of the people, understand what people expect and what people don't like. Because you might say, "Oh, I want to be the only one that sells this thing." Uh, that's not going to go well. uh, if you run your operation very smoothly, you might go along with it for a long time. So you're not creating shortages to play the market game and all that. Uh, but people are going to notice that, oh, you're trying to cut off other vendors, you know? So it's a balance game. Um, but yeah, going back to like the reference figure and all of that. I mean, I guess it's because I'm active in the community. Uh, I try to help people that have issues with it. Um, so one thing that I'm very happy with, and that I think it's extremely important for me, is trying to give feedback and help to anyone that asks for it. That's why when someone has an issue on a server that I'm into, but doesn't bring up that issue in my server through a ticket or anything else, I try to direct them to my server so that they can search for previous issues. If it matches, they can do the same. And if it doesn't match, they can follow up. Because helping others is important from a human point of view, but also if you're someone that has a business behind it, you want to be sure that your products are not damaged by the not understanding of how they work. You try to make them as simple as possible, as plain simple as possible. Plug and play, it just works. The magical, it's just magic. It's magical. The Apple way, like it just works. How do you copy from a phone to a laptop? It just works. Don't worry about it. Um, so that's the first step to have a great experience. But I think if you don't follow up on people's issues, the reputation of your products and the person might be damaged because of it. That's the thing that I'm extremely worried about. Every time someone has an issue with my PCB, I'm like, okay, what the hell happened? Why does the RGB on this indicator not work? And I'm like, oh, but I tested it. So what's going on? Was it a defect from the manufacturer? So at that point, I'm like, okay, it's a defect. I can send a new unit. Is it like a super weird edge case? And it happened. Someone, for example, on the Alice PCB was like, oh, if I do this, this, and that, the indicators don't work anymore. I'm like, okay, that's a use case that I was never considering. So that's good to know. So helping others also allows me to help even more people without them knowing. Because some weird edge case might be weird for me, but it might be normal for other people. Another example is if someone is testing one of my PCBs, they were like, oh, if I press the Windows key, this other key gets triggered as well. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. It doesn't happen on mine. So what's going on? And then we figured that because they were using Nordic input methods, for some reason, Windows was like, oh yeah, if you press the Windows key, this other key is also pressed. I'm like, okay, that's weird. But now I know it. Now I know it. And if someone else comes up with that, that's fine. We know that's not an issue. It's a weird behavior, but it's not of the PCB.
That is that's for the modifiers. Is it old? Is it old or is it?
I don't remember.
I've seen. I remember being confused about that fucking thing in Windows.
Yeah,
Fuck Windows.
yeah, it's super weird. But again, it's, to be honest, it's quite damaging to, like, health-wise, to always think about having to fix everything. If I was in a position to hire someone, probably I would be better at it. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the main reasons why people say that my PCBs are good. It's the inherent help that I provide, the continuous firmware updates. They're not like every week or like every month. But for example, if I find a way to make the scan rate faster, which happened like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, hey, by the way, all the PCBs that I've ever made, they're gonna have a scan rate booster if you install this one. And that goes for everyone. If you made a commission for a custom board, if you bought a PCB from a vendor, if you got it from someone else on the used market, that's support that is always there. It's kind of like free software updates on your iPhone. You know, um, it's a thing that it's there, but it's not a given. I've seen a lot of people have abandonware just stay there forever. So I guess that's the main reason. I'm not sure, to be honest.
I'll say my part, and then I'll pass to Tanghus, and then we can do the good keyboard friend segment. But obviously, this is my opinion. I'm sure other people share the same opinion. The PCBs themselves are good in terms of being able to desolder and then resolder. The pads are of good diameter and things like that, and there's a lot of support, and it just works. But in addition to that, and something that I really have noticed has become something that I take into consideration when I buy things, is the person behind that. The person behind the project or the item itself. You don't have to be a fucking saint to be considered a good PCB designer, but the fact that Cip is, it just makes it. It's like the cherry on top of the cake, like you were talking about. You can always reach out and say, "Oh, I have an issue with this. I have an issue with that," and you're more than happy to accommodate them as long as they're not trolling or things like that, or they ask in the correct way. You're connected to the community. We think of you as one of the boys. Like, obviously you're fucking amazing at what you do, but the humbleness and just the you're at our level. You don't ever put yourself above our level, and you always try and help to the best of your ability. It's fucking awesome. It's not just the PCB itself; it's the man behind the PCB. It's Cipulot. Having a Cipulot PCB and being able to support Cipulot as a person. That's why I love your PCBs. Like the PCBs themselves are fucking fantastic, layout wise. Like I said, solder, desolder, but it's the person behind that. Just the amazing guy that you are, Cip. I mean, you're fucking awesome. I'll pass it to Tanghus before I keep waffling. But yeah. What do you think, Tanghus?
I mean, that is essentially the thing why I think they're good. Is a good example is this fucking thing. This is my first foray into actually custom Topa stuff. And like, just being able to find a guide that tells me, yeah, you just need this, do the X, Y, and Z, be careful of this, mindful of this. And introducing me to such wonderful Topa terms such as looping your PCB.
Oh, don't do that.
Which is like,
Don't do that.
I hear some idiot going like, looping
Don't do
my
that.
PCB. Some guy goes like, loop your PCB. I was like,
No.
and then you have like this angry Italian man goes like, don't fucking loop your PCBs. I was like, okay, got it. Won't do that. No, but like, it actually made it pretty easy, like to set it up and configure. And it's just like watching a stream going, hey, just do this, this, and this. I was like, okay, fine. So me, an idiot savant, could basically pick up a Topa PCB out of it and get it running somewhat decent. Even with how analog I am, or not even like I/O, I guess, even input/output. But I think that's one thing. It's also like the general approachability of the project. And you also know that when you're getting it, it's done with the best of ability. And but as you see with the firmware update, there's a willingness to learn and like improve and like iterate, which is also a great thing to see. And just being approachable in the community just adds a benefit. And like before the thing, I really want to say, like, I hate the people who say like we're not sending stuff to the moon, because like, yeah, they set the bar low, but they don't realize like how fucking low the bar was for when we sent people to the moon. Like we sent them in tin cans strapped to rockets with basically fuck all in life support, and we were quite lucky that we were in the middle of like a quiet period of solar flare storms and nobody fucking died. So like, yeah, that is a very low bar to set when you say we're not sending things to the moon. That is a very, very low bar.
Yeah, I mean, at this point is a meme, for the most part. Like, I think for me, the point of this thing doesn't need to be super technically correct. I think there's a space for that, to be honest. Like, if it's your first design, unless you're shorting power and the thing is gonna blow up, I'm not gonna tell you anything. Like, the first thing that I wanna see, when, for example, back in the day when I was tutoring some students, I wanna see how you approach this problem, like how you think things work, and then we can go into, this is not really how it works, because this is this and that, and what instead you think is good. And most of the time, they have good input. You reach a point where you must intervene for things like, oh, if you do this, the manufacturer will not produce it. There's no way. So if people are willing to accept that, their experience and the experience of everyone that later will get their products and their creations is going to be far better than anything else. If you refuse feedback in any way, shape, or form, when it's presented to you, you risk, first of all, to look cocky. You might be okay with it. I'm not here to judge, but your designs will show it. You will see things routed in a weird way. You'll see traces put too close to edge cuts. And then I bet in a year, when some guy sells their keyboard, I'm doing the example of keyboards to make it easier. When I sell this keyboard to another guy and they don't like the linears that I use and they want to use click keys, the PCB no longer works. The traces are no longer there. The pads gone, you know? So you gotta think about not only does it work, like working is a extremely low bar. You gotta think about the longevity of the product. We're not going into like super philosophical, oh no e-waste and all of that. Oh, I'm gonna source PCBs from this guy because it doesn't use cobalt and lead and other stuff. It's the entire experience. Like, what if you were the guy that bought a keyboard on the second market uh, and just received a brick? You know, what if there's no extra PCB? Then you're gonna spend even more money asking for someone to sell you PCB or make a new one. That's the you should go beyond the moon threshold. Because if you have the mentality of going beyond, then once you have a solid base, you can go beyond. If you start to work with keyboard designers, like case designers, you can do some wacky stuff. And you can approach designers of other fields in a much more direct way and in a way that they can understand. Because if you try to communicate with people from other fields with your own technical lingo, it's not going to go well. um, if you got to explain to them that this component must stay there and everything like that, you cannot simply say, oh, no, we can't move it. Sorry, you got to change your keyboard. You got to find a way to communicate with others. And if you reach for that a little bit more effort, your experience is going to be much better for you as a designer, but also for people that buy your designs. That's the main goal for a designer. The same way for case designers, you need to design them to make them actually machinable, so that the guy at the CNC factory doesn't have an aneurysm every time they open your G code. Same goes for everything else. You know, that's
I love it.
the main takeaway, I guess.
I love it. That's a perfect way to end it. Again, it shows why Cipulot is amazing, why his PCBs are amazing, why we all love him. And we'll have him on again. We have many fantastic episodes in store, PCB specific, scams, and just whatever we want. I'll get to go ahead.
It is a testament that we'll have him on again, that we've already had him on once.
Yeah.
And he's here again.
Yeah. We must be doing something okay.
Yeah, we need to do like the Marvel thing and just put like Cipulot will return. I said it in the previous episode, but we really need to do like that for every one of them. Just go like do the tease.
Yeah. Hey, we'll do it for this one for sure. But yeah, the good keyboard friend of the week segment. We love it. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that loves it to like a weird extent, but I think we'll all love it in our specific ways. But it's a way to just shout out someone that's done something positive for you or the community. Doesn't matter how big or how small. If it's positive, it made an impact for you or the community, we love to shout them out. The easiest way to do that is to go to hugemeatbox.com, which is our link tree, safe for work. It's not like a porn site or anything.
If you're in the UK, you need your ID.
I saw something like, I don't know if it was a troll or not, but somebody got arrested on a bus because they used a VPN to get into Pornhub or something.
Man, it's probably true. It's the UK. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They're arrested for a meme on Facebook. Let's be real.
Oh god. But yeah, you go to hugemeatbox.com. The very first link is the nomination. It's a Google sheet. It's a Google form. You put in your name. It can be anonymous. You put in who you want to nominate, and you put in the reason why you're nominating them. You can also comment on YouTube or our Instagram or Spotify, or you can reach out to us on Discord. me, Tanghus, Black Simon, James, send us a DM. We'd love to hear your nominations, and we'd love to shout them out at the end of each episode. So before I hand it off to Cip for his nominations, I do want to ask Tanghus if you have any, because if not, I'll go with mine. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but if you don't have any, that's fine.
Actually, people, I would just say this is acting. It's fine. We've of course cleared this way before the podcast. Before we went on, we sat down and like discussed like what we're going to do this. So this is just a play. Don't worry about it.
It's all scripted.
Yeah, it's absolutely scripted. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But Hubert, as I told you, like when we started talking about this podcast 3 weeks ago and planned it, it's like, of course I don't have anyone, and for sure you're gonna have this one for sure. It's yours.
Absolutely. So my very good friend, my very, very good friend, he was a coworker, turned into friend. His name is Chengsou. We call him Big Cheng.
Fuck yeah!
We work
I am
together.
in for the next 6 minutes of waffling because I want to know why he's Big Cheng.
It's the stupidest thing ever.
But this is where we have to ask permission from Cip as well. But I'm sure he would like to know too.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's not anything crazy. I wish it was, but he used to be a trainer at a former job that I worked at, insurance, and somehow the professional and personal boundaries got crossed in a normal way. You know, we saw each other outside of work. This is sus, I know. We became friends. That's the gist of it. We became friends outside of our professional relationship of him being a trainer and me being, one of the employees that he trained. And over the years, like many people do, we share common interests. We hang out together, drink beers, whatnot. And it finally became something of a necessity in terms of needing a new keyboard for him. And boy, if somebody says they need a new keyboard or ask about keyboard recommendations, finally this hobby has allowed me the ability to at least give some sort of feedback, right? So thank you to the keyboard community. But I told him, I told him about this or that. I tried not to be too overbearing. Eventually it led to me giving him it was a low profile Keychron, a full size. I don't know what the number in the whatever it is.
Whatever the 75,000 different
Wow.
models they have.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just like Big Cheng, and then you give him a low profile Keychron. Just like, man, I fully expected. So this led to me giving him basically, I looked at it for a bit. I thought, you know what? An F122, that's the best for Big Cheng. But no, a low profile Keychron.
Yeah. So I said to him, and it started his keyboard journey. I'm going to be meeting up with him after many years of not being able to meet up. He lives in Minnesota. I live in Iowa. So part of the Minnesota meetup is I'm heading up and I'm going to hang out with him. So it's going to be a fucking blast. He in turn passed that Keychron on to another friend, another coworker of his, and now he is a keyboard hobbyist, both Big Cheng and the friend. And the reason why we call him Big Cheng is because we want to give our trainers some sort of a gift, us as a training class many years ago. So for 2 of the trainers, we made a mug, and we Microsoft painted, aka Photoshopped, their face on the mug. And for Big Cheng, it was like a t-shirt. It was like a Lil Wayne, the rapper. Like he was rapping into a microphone, and instead of Lil Wayne's head, I put Chengsou's head, Big Cheng's head. And I had a little thing that said, was it the albums are like explicit content, whatever, and then Big Cheng instead of Lil Wayne. So we called him Big Cheng from then on. I know it sounds fucking stupid, but I'm sure his penis is also large. That's why we call him Big Cheng. There we go. That's what you wanted, Tanghus?
I mean, that's a decent name. Like, it's a decent. It's a good name. It's a great fucking name, and it's like you have to like come up with a better like story for it.
Oh, okay.
Better background. Like, really gotta like get this one better.
You gotta up your game, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's okay to bullshit when you give people a nickname like that.
Yeah,
We'll workshop that for the future for sure.
Yeah, but like bring him to the Minnesota meetup. I heard that's the beer meetup.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And that's where he can really show that he's Big Cheng.
Yeah, I love you. I love you, Chengsou, Big Cheng. We'll meet soon, but I'll pass it on to
You
Cipulot
sound
for
like a
his.
cracking fellow.
He's amazing. He's amazing, dude.
Okay, so there are a lot of people actually. Some of them, I think I'm gonna just put them under a big umbrella. So the first one that I would shout out is James, AKB James. We came to know each other through the Glaciers server, of all places. Um, and actually, through him, I did a bunch of PCBs for Glaciers. So, like the big keyboard PCB, the Frisbee, and other stuff. Um, so he's really passionate about his designs. As he said in other episodes, I think the experience that he had running a group buy really opened my eyes on how I wanted to handle business. Um, the way he just went through all of the PayPal issues and all of that really helped me understanding that he didn't do it for the sake of running a project, but because he cared about the people that actually bought into the project. And I think that's very rare. And we saw how other people handled it, and now they are no longer in the hobby. Vendors went bust, people scammed, and all of that. So I think James is one of the people that majorly influenced the way I approached the business side of things. Um, then, of course, Upas from Canon Keys, because he was the main one that actually went on and said, okay, we see the potential in having your PCBs sold. So his help and understanding of markets and all that really helped me expand and reach more people. And to be honest, without him, I'm not sure I would have reached that many people. Um, then the bigger umbrella is everyone that I met at meetups and outside of meetups. Um, so, for example, um, AIO3, I always knew about him, never met the guy, I rarely talked to him, even in DMs. But the moment I told him, hey, I'm going to be in Tokyo for the meetup, can we meet up? Just to have a chat or something. He was like, oh, yeah, sure. Why not? Um, Same thing for Kevin from TypePlus. The first thing that we actually did when we met, funnily enough, I showed him keyboard stuff in my hotel. And that was the first time that we ever met in person. I never seen the guy. Um, and the next day I'm at his house, playing with the cats in the doggo and talking about keyboards. Then other people, for example, Clever from Cleverkeebs, we started to chat because he had a bunch of keyboards that he wanted to convert to EC. And he was like, oh, I did this PCB, but I'm not sure about it. So can I ask you to make it for me? And from there, it evolved so much, the relationship between the two of us, that now he's making EC parts. Um, so it's very eye-opening for me how the shit posting that I did for the Little Bay and debated and doing the ISO just because I was bored um, evolved into meeting people that otherwise I would have never known, you know? And the thing that really surprised me was the fact that everyone was very open, regardless of where they are from. They're from Europe, they're from the US, South America, uh, Japan, China, South Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, like everywhere. I've seen the human side of the hobby beyond the simple we're chatting. It's oh, you're in town. Let's meet up. Uh, it's very, very different from what I experienced during my normal life, like outside of work, here in my everyday life. If you were to put a camera on me right now, I would never go out. My car has less miles on it than the new car that a friend of mine just bought like 6 months ago, and mine is 5 years old. So that tells you how much I go around here. But yeah, like the hobby for me, of course, it's the selling PCBs, making new stuff. But the major takeaway for me is the people that I met and that I talk to, and that I can have conversations that are outside of keyboards. It's the oh, let's go and eat something for lunch with a guy that I met randomly on the Topper server. It's the um, them DMing me, asking me questions about how things work for center stuff, or just venting. You know, that's a new thing for me. I guess, yeah. The major keyboard friends that I want to shout out is basically everyone that goes beyond the keyboards. You know, because yeah, you can be friends with people in a hobby because you share the same interest. But are they really friends? For me, they're friends if they go beyond the shared interest. If they share to you how their day went, what is making them worried about during that period of time of their life. It's sharing stories, sharing interest, meeting up just for fun. That's the major giveaway for me. That's why I try to have more people be happy with the keyboards, because if you are happy with the keyboards, you're more inclined in remaining in the hobby. And hopefully, the longer you stay in the hobby, more people, uh, the more people you know, the more people you met at meetups, the more people you start to randomly chat with. And from there, things evolve. Take Simon, for example. Uh, when he said that keyboards is great and everything, and at the end of the day, he helped him finding joy in doing keyboards with the community, but also a partner. You know, that's that's amazing. That's a thing that very few people can say um, was in their book of things to achieve when entering the keyboard hobby. Uh, it shouldn't be your main goal. Like you don't enter a hobby just to I want to find my partner for life. But it's wonderful to see how people can come together for stupid rectangles made out of metal and flashy keycaps, and then they end up becoming lifelong friends. That's amazing for me.
It is. It is. Cip, you're amazing. What a way. The greatest. I feel kind of bad now because of my, Big Cheng segment, and then Cip just hits it out
Yeah,
of the park, man.
don't be like
That's awesome.
you shared basically a similar story. You give a keyboard, and then this guy gives the keyboard to another guy, and now everyone is in the hobby. And I bet that your friend and the other guy now know way more people thanks to that. You know, maybe they just play Valorant or whatever, CS:GO, whatever they play now, or like the gacha game of the horse girls, whatever. Uh, you know,
What?
No, don't act like you don't know, Tangus.
don't act like
you
you don't know. I know you have your iPhone opened with the game there.
I am literally clueless, and I am too scared to Google this.
This is all scripted for audio listeners. This is all
Yeah,
scripted.
genuinely scripted. I am.
He totally knows what we're talking about. Yeah, like it's
No,
the same thing.
let's not waffle this because this episode is plenty long.
Okay.
I will not dare Google this, and I will inform the viewer that from what I hear, you shouldn't Google this either.
No,
I don't think this is safe.
It's a gacha. So
I'm not so concerned about the gacha thing, except that is like a horrendous thing in its own, and like we're still like, again, I'm waffling here, but I'm more concerned about the moment you said horse girls.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's fine. Well, we'll leave it with that.
how is it? It goes. It's like, am I out of touch? If we're smart, that would have been like the greatest ending ever.
I'll just edit it. On behalf
picture.
of yeah. On behalf
Like,
of me.
No.
Go.
On that bombshell that has rustled my jimmies. Good night. And bye.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.